Hi guys, today I'm going to share our realistic evening routine. This is basically everything I get up to on an average evening as a full-time working mum with my 2-year-old son Kian and at 21 weeks pregnant. So I was walking downstairs and realised that Kian didn't have any bed sheets on and it was getting close to pick up time. So I quickly threw some sheets on his bed because doing this task with the toddler around would be impossible. We moved Kian into a big boy bed maybe 3 months ago because he started climbing out of his cot. So we just moved our spare bed into his bedroom and also added some bed guards to make sure he doesn't roll out at night. And yeah, he's settled really well in there. And then we moved the cot into the spare room all ready for baby number 2. Oh god, look at me. I had to go back upstairs to my desk to join a call for an hour just before I picked up Kian. I usually try to log off at 4:30 at the latest. Kian's childminder is just down the road, so I like to go and get him a little bit early because I just hate the thought of him being the last one there waiting for his mummy. It always takes a while to get him in the house. He either wants to go to the park or get in the car or do anything except go inside.
I can hide.
Are you hiding?
Yeah.
Can you come inside?
No.
Once he's finally inside, he always sits down on the bottom step and I help him take his coat and shoes off. And I'll always try and ask him a few questions about his day and what he got up to. And then we talk about all the toys he's going to play with now he's home. Slowly. Then we just head on into the kitchen, which is where we spend most of our evening, and Kian always locks me out. He thinks it's hilarious and I think it's really cute, to be fair. Come on, let me in. Then I just give him a quick nappy change before he goes off and plays with all his toys, usually his tractor and his farm animals. They are his favourite at the moment and he's always so excited to see them when he comes home from the childminders. I also will offer him some water when he gets home, and I usually have to chase him around a bit to get his attention. In this case, I just left it there and hoped that he would come back to it at some point. Then I just spend some time getting the house a bit cozy. I switch on the fairy lights on our cooker mantle and also the little LED candles. I'm always so tired at this point in the day, so I've made myself a little coffee just to get me through the evening. For dinner tonight, Kian's having some leftover vegetables, rice and salmon. I'm only cooking for Kian tonight because I had quite a late lunch and wasn't that hungry, and Tony was going to be home late from the office. And as you can see, Kian was happily playing away with his toys. Every now and again he comes and has a little chat with me, or maybe a little cuddle, but generally he's quite good at entertaining himself for a while. Once he starts to feel hungry, he always climbs up into his high chair.
Everything's in the water. Look.
What's in the water?
Fish.
Fish? Are you going to have fish for dinner?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a very bad habit of climbing up into his high chair. As soon as I see him doing it, I always run over to make sure he doesn't fall. And he knows that sometimes he has to wait because dinner's not always ready as soon as he is. So I just gave him some water and stuck the TV on for him while he waits. So I just fried up some salmon for him in some garlic, paprika, butter and lemon just to give it some flavour. Oh, and there's me. Hello, how you doing? Oh god, this jumper is so frumpy, but there I am showing off my bump at 21 weeks, looking Teletubby chic and loving it. Alright now love, that's enough, put it away. Now it's time to get my hungry little boy ready for dinner. I just stuck his bib on and also washed his hands in a bowl of soapy water. I usually do this once he's settled in his high chair because it's so hard to get him out of there to come and wash his hands, and they're probably really dirty. So he always makes such a mess, but at least I feel like his hands are a little bit clean. Then it's time for dinner, and I just spend a couple of minutes just telling him what all the different foods are, just so he knows the names of things and becomes a bit more familiar with what he's eating. So while Kian eats his dinner, I will start speed cleaning and trying to get as much of the kitchen cleaned as possible. There is nothing more soul destroying than coming downstairs after bedtime to a dirty kitchen and more jobs to do, so I always try to get as much done as possible before we head upstairs. Even though Kian was eating, he was messing about a bit in his high chair, so I just sat down with him to try and encourage him to eat. I know it's a bad habit, but he always eats with the TV on. We just find it's the best way to keep him sitting still. So yeah, he did start eating a lot better once I was sitting with him. As you can see, he's still messing about in his high chair and trying to stand up and play even though he is eating. So I just thought I'd get a head start on cleaning and just swept up some of the rice and rubbish that was all on the floor underneath him. After dinner, Kian had a little cup of milk and some fruit. It took us so long to get him drinking milk again, and finally managed to convince him with a cup and a straw. We started off making him little milkshakes with a bit of banana or strawberry, but now he's happy enough to drink the milk just as is. And while he does that, again, I just try and clean up as much of the kitchen as I can. It does sometimes feel like an uphill battle at this point in the evening. As much as I'm tidying, Kian's making a mess, but I just try and get as much done as possible. Then, since Kian ate fish, I just give him a good wash down at the sink, wash his hands and his face, and make sure that all that fishy smell is gone from him. Then he just has a little play, and I will just get the last bits of cleaning done while we have a little chat. He was having so much fun playing with my tripod tonight.
Cheese!
Cheese! Cheese!
Not broken.
What's not working? Then I just ended up eating Kian's leftovers for dinner. I wasn't really that hungry, but I didn't want to throw it in the bin. So I had that and then cleaned up his high chair and just gave the floor around the high chair a little clean as well. I remembered we had clothes to take out of the tumble dryer, so I quickly did that because Kian's little doggy and elephant, his Wawa and Ellie, which he takes to bed, were in there. So I needed to find them before heading upstairs. Finally, we're getting there. It's getting dark, it's closer to bedtime. I've laid out Kian's pyjamas and his toothbrush and his water, and then because it's just me tonight, I'm not going to bother bathing him, and I'm going to put his pyjamas on downstairs in front of the TV because I find this routine so much easier to do downstairs while he's got the TV on and is distracted and isn't quite yet thinking that he has to go to sleep yet. Then it's usually somewhere between 6:30 and 6:45 that we go up to bed. This is honestly my favourite part of the day, and I think Kian loves it too. But it's where we snuggle up in bed and read all his stories, and sometimes I'll tell him a little story and we have a little chat, and it's just so lovely. Then after a good half an hour of stories and lots of cuddles, I say goodnight to Kian and come downstairs to my last job of the day, getting this room sorted. Sorry for the dodgy footage, my camera died so I had to film this on my phone. But this evening I had to do a couple of check-ins on Kian just to get him to sleep. And then it was time for me to finally relax on the sofa. I'm not gonna lie, I was absolutely exhausted. I usually am at this point every evening, especially now that I'm pregnant. Not so long after, Tony came home and we just chilled out until bedtime. So that is our pretty average evening routine. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.